Thank you very much for staying with us and welcome back to Bernama Today. As promised, we've got a very interesting story that we're going to be talking about today. We'll be speaking to Pam Siow, who's the CEO of Internet Business Owners Club. But having said that, at the age of 28, she was in debt of $30,000 and today she's a millionaire. How did that happen, Pam? Very good morning. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Gerard.
Thank you so much for taking time off to be with us. Well, when you decided to move into online business, was that something you already knew, you were already familiar with?
No, it was not. I'm the typical, the typical laptop user. I just check my emails, check Facebook.
Email, Facebook a little bit.
That's all. I was good in that. The reason why I decided to launch online business was something I was familiar with. I used the internet, but I didn't know how to harness the power of the internet. So I decided that, with the 30,000 credit card, that I had to do something different.
Right. So it was 30,000 what, Singapore dollars or?
It was ringgit dollars.
In ringgit.
Goodness.
So thank goodness it was 30,000 ringgit that what this was in debt of what? Credit cards?
Credit card, you get a beautiful credit card when you're 25 and then you go shopping and you buy all this nice stuff and suddenly you realize, you feel happy till you see the credit card bill every month. Right. And then accumulated and I kept pretending that I'll pay off but it never worked out. And then at 28 I decided I was going to do something different. Right,
but you thought, with this much debt in hand, did you think that everything was going to go away and you're going to struggle for the next so many years paying, or you already knew you had a focal point? I'm going to change my life. This is what's going to happen. Did you see that happening?
No, I didn't. When I started, it was simply just to pay off the debt. Because at 25 and then I was 28, and I was thinking, oh, I'm turning 30. It's time to, if I kept doing what I was doing, I'll be even worse. Because obviously I had a problem.
So what was that turning point, that paradigm shift? Turning 30?
Okay. One was turning 30. Second thing was the credit card companies were haunting me. They were calling me non-stop. Okay. Plus, I had
hello, Miss Pam. You're free to talk.
Like, oh, no, So and the lawyers were sending letters because, I couldn't pay the minimum sometimes. Because it just was so bad, just accumulate. And then when it hit that amount, I said, I need to do something different. So I then decided I need to do something radical. If I kept doing what I was doing, nothing would change.
I mean, doing something radical in my mind would be working 3 jobs to pay off my debts. But doing something radical and thinking of doing it online without enough knowledge of going online. So how did that happen?
So what happened was I attended many workshops hoping that, somehow I'll be open my mind and see a different perspective. And I went to a workshop and talked about passive income. Right. And I was fascinated. I said, why wasn't I taught this when I was younger? And I decided to explore and I figured the online was the way to get passive income. Right. So I went to workshops and I listened to a teacher talk and I said, I could do this, if I work really hard. Right. And I said, in the worst scenario, I'll just, get better at online marketing. So I imagined the worst scenario. I said, okay, that could be fine. So I signed up and through learning the proper process I had results. Right.
So that there's a step-by-step system to get yourself into this. And when you found out about this system, how did you then start your business, or how did you then start coaching?
Oh, okay, so the first step was I didn't intend to start coaching anything. What I wanted to do was to just pay off my debt, Right. There's just one goal, pay off my debt, and life would be better. I would feel less stress. So the first thing was I used to play the violin for 2 years. Right. And I remember at the time, 4 years back, it was extremely difficult to find a violin teacher online. And I said, I'm sure there are people looking for violin teachers. There's a tool on Google that tells you how many people are searching for a product or service. And I realized every month there are 800 Singaporeans looking for violin lessons. Right. 800
Singaporeans looking for violin lessons. Now, why would Singaporeans, or 800 of them, want to play the violin every month? That's another topic for another show. But in the meantime, so when you found this out, what happened there?
Then I said, I went to Google and I realized there were no violin teachers on page 1. And it's not true that Singapore had no violin teachers, or simply they were not online. So I said, if I could create a portal, to connect them, I could be a music agency, like a tuition agency.
But it all sounds so like it all fell in place. It was not that easy.
It was not that easy. It was stumbling, trying out. And I launched a website with no violin teachers, saying, okay, if anyone call me, I'll find one, Okay. The very next day, I had one, and I actually forgot I launched that because, I did it very late at night. And I put a fake name, and when they called me and asked for their name, I just said wrong number. Right. Because I forgot completely. And then the person said, do you provide violin lessons? And I said, oh yes, I did, And so I had 50% commission for the first sale. Right. Which was 120 Sing for 5 minutes call.
That's for a 5-minute call?
Yeah. So
wow.
that month I closed 10, it was 1,002.
Thinking of a career change already. As we speak, that's happening in my brain now. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and within 4 months I quit my job, my corporate job.
Right.
Yeah, and I slowly paid off my debt, you know, and I managed my money. And people, whenever I met somebody and they asked me, you know, what are you working as, and I said I'm an internet marketer, people were fascinated because they knew the online was a big, massive portal, but they couldn't get their mind around it.
Right, right.
So everyone asked me, you know, could you teach me how to get sales through the internet? And I said, yes. So I emailed, I think, 50 people, and I said, I think people need this information. So I get a small class, you know, I started sharing, and, you know, it grew and grew, and this is how I launched my business.
It started cascading.
Yeah.
And now you have a lot of people within this. But when it comes to the internet, you know, internet business is absolutely crucial these days.
For sure.
And a lot of us want to get online and start a little something, a little awareness campaign of what we're doing. I've got a friend, a personal friend, I did talk to you about this off the air, who started a restaurant, and he said, look, you know, I want to go online and tell people about this and create more of a buzz and an awareness, and somehow that isn't happening. So what would be the mistake here?
As you mentioned, your friend who is opening a restaurant, in fact, it is more common to be wrong online than right.
It's more common to be wrong online than right. I would write that down if I were you.
Yeah, because most people launch a website and they say, oh, we're done, you know, and it becomes a white elephant because no one finds them.
Right.
I mean, there are several reasons. Firstly, they're not being found. No one can find them, you know, and the first thing is many business owners use their brand name as their main keyword.
Right.
And this is not how people search for a restaurant, you know. They will not search for the specific name because they do not even know you exist.
Right.
You know, so it needs to be a certain, like, Laksa restaurant or something, you know, and a brand name.
For great beefsteaks, things like that.
You need to have the correct keywords that trigger people because Google analyzes keywords to be found. Next thing is you must say the correct stuff. Many people, they do it very, you know, little pictures, you know, not attractive words. They do features, you know, and people want to be sold, you know, they want to know that, you know, you need to entice them. It's like advertisements.
Right.
So how they say it also is not done correctly. So you need to say it in a very attractive way that will lure them. And interestingly, online there is a way where you can use a tool called Google Discussions, which tabulates all the forums, discussions about your product, your service.
Of course, at this point, I'm just lost. I'm just caught in a sea of internet email. I must check my email after this. But you know, with all this information that you've collected throughout the years, when you teach people, is it easy?
It's easy because I simplified online marketing is true, you know, I'm not surprised to say that it's not because it is quite technical and it's very new information. So what I realized when I started, you know, I used to share information and a lot of people were like, oh, I don't understand this, but now I simplify it a lot because people want, you know, simple steps. They don't want to be the best internet marketer, they want to make money, you know. So I simplify that so they will get results, they get found, and therefore they will convert and have customers coming into their business.
Before I ask you the next question, and before we move on, talking about you and how you moved on, you know, for those who want to find out about internet business or the Internet Business Club, or Business Owners Club, you know, where do they go? Is there a website for me to find out more about this interesting club?
Yeah, sure. It's Internet Biz, B-I-Z, Owners, plural, club.com. So you
Internet
can find Biz.
Biz, that's B-I-Z.
Yeah, ownersclub.com.
internetbizowners.club.com, and you'll get all the information you want. So with a club like this, do you guys actually meet each other, or everyone doesn't know each other, everyone's online?
We have two ways. We have networking events sometimes. We have meet up among my students, and we also have like a Facebook group where we kind of keep in touch to discuss more ideas.
So you've got a Facebook group where you guys often meet up there and exchange ideas.
Correct. This is more for my students.
So as a person who's moved from 30,000 debt to becoming a millionaire, you know, is it safe to say that anyone can do this?
Of course, anyone can do this.
Right.
Yeah, because once you set your mind on something, I guess it's not having this big goal. It's rather, you know, what's the next thing I want to change, you know, what's the next thing to change? And then keep going, don't get stuck, you know, because they say even if you're the right path, you don't move, you get run over by a competitor, right?
Right.
You know, so you need to keep moving, you know.
So you need to be the right path, the straight and narrow, and you need to keep moving all the time.
Yeah.
In this 1 minute, if you've got one crucial piece of advice for those using the internet as a place to find business or to make business, what would it be, Pam?
I think the key is to educate yourself, because many people do it and they spend years or months figuring out, saying I'd rather do it myself. But why do it yourself? You know, cut the chase, learn from an expert or learn a proper process and get results fast. Because in business, time is money. And the longer you delay, the more money you lose.
Right.
So the key is to educate yourself, learn the proper process. Because if you do it correctly, you'll be earning double or triple your revenue.
You'll be earning double or triple, and that's what many of us want to do. Passive income, that's the way to go. Well, once again, if you need more information about the Internet Business Owners Club, Asia's #1 club for building online empires, I like that. Once again, log on to
InternetBizOwnersClub.com.
InternetBizOwnersClub.com. Pam, it was a pleasure speaking to you. Stay with us right here on Bernama TV. We've got lots of updates coming out through the day. Bernama Today's team will be back tomorrow with more for you right here on Bernama Today. Pam, it was a pleasure speaking to you.
Thanks, Gerard.
And all the best.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.